You guys are in a great spot right now.
We're young.
Yes, it feels like you're young, and you're obviously building, and you can see and feel what you're building. Is that how you feel about the Denver Broncos?
I would say this. I think, yeah, absolutely. We're in a much better position cap-wise now.
Yeah.
And you kind of approach it like, hey, we're going to play young players. And you guys have seen this long enough now. Young and naive can be dangerous sometimes. And when you have one of those teams and they get this type of experience last year, first round of the playoffs, this year, into the second to last weekend, you just, you get excited about coming back and looking at another draft class now.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. I don't want to bring up.
No, bring up anything.
Bo getting hurt, man. We are so sorry.
It was on the third to last play of the game, and he had come over to the sideline, after the injury took place. He threw a deep pass interference, and it was a significant play. We're going to kick this chip shot. And so when he comes over, I kind of jack him in the shoulder like,
did it.
And he's like, And I was like, I said, you'll be fine. I said, watch this kid hit this field goal. We're going to be in the championship. I jabbed him again, and all the while so we get into the locker room. It's pretty common where I would do the media, and then after he got undressed and showered, he'd go do the media. And when I came back from the presser, they're the trainer, doctor, and I didn't know, I knew something was up. They were in my office there. I just didn't know who, and then they told me it was Bo, and so, it was Saturday night. We weren't going to see our team till Monday, and I thought there's no way this story goes, till Monday, and so I showered and went back and just said, hey, here's what happened. And it was, there was kind of this surreal feeling or numbing, if you will, because so many things had just gone on. You just won a big game, but you just lost your quarterback. And it's unfortunate. It's one of those deals.
Yeah, it sucks. It's football. I mean, it's the NFL. It's football. That's going to happen. But obviously, you hope that is not the case. I feel like for you guys, though, you'll be able to use that as motivation all offseason, right? It feels like.
Yeah, I think, look, the one thing, and you guys all know this, as tough as it is, it's like frickin' chutes and ladders, though. Mm-hmm. Like, table gets flipped up, dice get put away, open it back up, you start at zero. And you start the journey again. Now you're more experienced. You've got more confidence. You've added some key pieces. And I think with every season, there are these extremely important games. Maybe in 17 weeks, there might be two. When that road win at Philly on a short week was one of those wins. And so as we get ready this year, we're going to have a good schedule. Obviously, we play the NFC West.
Pretty good.
3 of those teams were all playoff teams. But you do have to recharge and start again. You push the off-season schedule back a little bit. Normally, it starts mid-April. Our guys won't come in until the 1st of May. And then we won't see them. We won't do a football item until June. They'll just be lifting for a month before we ever, because you don't want them to feel like we're back here at practice again and we were just here.
It wasn't enough time, refresh.
You want a gap. And honestly, they need that, and we need that. And so I like when they have a good month of so we'll just do phase 1 for a month, regardless of what the schedule says, and then we'll do OTAs and a mini camp in June.
I love that. And once again, you're a gangster, so you can do these things. You can walk into a place.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's what exactly. You can do that because of who you are. Your resume says that.
I think, here's the other thing, though. We're constantly selling. So we had an injury issue. That first year I got there, they had finished 32nd with players missed games because of injury, 130-some players. And we spent a lot of time and money with our training staff. It's hard to have that room be something the players love.
Yes.
You follow me?
Yes, agreed.
It's always like that Shangri-La. It's somewhere else it's better. And that very first offseason after 23, we put the numbers up, and we reduced it to 36, first in the league. 2 years ago, first in the league. So they believe in, part of it is hey, I want you to be here, but tell me why. And then we could show them, here are the numbers. You're doing the right thing. And as a result of it, our team's healthier.
Yeah, and also you have one of the most prolific offenses in the history, documented multiple times. So you are a guru genius. So the boys are going to buy into that. Got a great shoe game, so the swag is obviously ridiculous. Yep, always you are. You're giving up play calling?
I am.
This feels like a huge deal. Have you ever given up play calling before?
The first time, in 2011, fractured my tib plateau in a Tampa Bay game. A play came into the sideline, and it was, a surgery Monday. It was like a 9-month recovery. But anyway, all during the week, I'm in the hospital, and I tell Pete, hey, you're going to have to run the meetings, call the plays. We're playing the Colts Sunday Night Football.
In New Orleans?
In New Orleans.
Yeah.
Peyton is not playing.
Yeah, Curtis is playing. Yeah, I played quarterback. Okay, can I tell you our angle of this?
Go ahead. Because this is a good story.
Okay, I was scout team quarterback against our defense, and boy, if I looked left and then to the right, tight end was wide open right down. I threw for 50 touchdowns that week, maybe with your offense. And then you guys did the same.
If you were having that success, we just had to find a way for Drew to have it.
Yes, yeah, Drew Brees, first ballot Hall of Famer. Yeah, exactly.
So I remember I was back in the office for Friday's meetings, and really, you're out of touch. You had surgery, and we're playing Sunday night. I'm in the press box, and Pete's calling the game, and we win 63 to something.
Yeah.
I said to Pete, you were killing me. I'm getting ready to do a new contract. I'm up in the press box. We score record total points in the history of the Saints organization. Anyway, this young coach, and I say young, Davis Webb is something. And sure, it's funny, the timeline that when you have a young coach like a Joe Brady or a Declan Doyle or any of these guys that I've been fortunate enough to hire when they're young coaches, like what you think is their timeline of success, position coach, coordinator, head coach, is always 2 years behind what the league sees. It's much quicker. And so I remember interviewing Davis. He's one of those few players that came from playing right into coaching. There's usually a couple of years. And he finished the interview, and we had a schedule with some other guys lined up. And as he's heading to the airport, I turned to George Payton. I said, I don't know what we're doing letting him leave the building. Call the driver back up. He comes back and hire him. But he's going to be one of those guys, just as I'm making him a coordinator, it's not on your timeline.
Yeah.
And and the same thing happens with these young players that all of a sudden hit it, and it's a young man's league. So I'm excited for him. Look, I'll still be involved. Having done it before, the thing that is a little unusual, like when you're in those studio sets, chairs, I did this with Fox, all right, where do you put your hands? Do I put how do I?
Yeah, sure.
And on game day, you feel like you got a call sheet, you're looking at it, but you're kind of empty-handed.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to watch you be a CEO, full on.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm excited to see that evolution for you. AJ has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, you talked about the team health and how you figured that out once you got there. We know you come from your Bill Parcells coaching tree. We know your practices are legendary. Your training camp is known to be very, very tough, very hard-nosed. I guess, how have you worked that out over the years?
So here's the one thing I think all of us have gotten better with is you have to cycle up and down. There's never this just straight. And so how we approach the day following a day off is much different. It's a
ramp
yeah,
back
we
up.
have these alert days that we are not going to have anyone get injured on these alert days. And so it's a ramp up, it's a plateau, it's a ramp down. And we've learned a lot since we had a 7-week training camp in Jackson, Mississippi that first year.
I've heard about those.
Yeah, the legendary stories.
Yeah.
So that's changed, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so, but I do believe you have to build a callus, though, relative to inside run, play in some preseason games. We're not 3 days on, a day off, 3 days. And now I can say all that, but then when you go 3 years in a row and point to the data, the thing I think is most important, though, is this time of the year, when they join us again, I really don't want coaches talking to them about football. If the conversation exists, I want it to be about your family or how much you're benching, what your weight's like. Like, I want that month and a half. And I remember Bill was that way. I mean, I'd run out with the QBs, and the first time this is my first year with Bill, and they're throwing the receivers, and he calls me over. He said, if one of those guys gets a hamstring, I'm going to have another quarterback receiver coach. But you want them pulling into the parking lot, not feeling like they're coming to practice, like they're actually coming to train. And there's all the stuff they need. The supplement center. We're building a new facility, so we are selling. Because it's a choice, and you just want to make it so good that it's way better than any other option you have.
I wish I could have played for you. And I know you guys opened up an office that was in that building just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
There's one upstairs in a parking lot and everything.
Yeah, we're 3 months away from moving literally right across the field to a new facility.
Oh, really?
And so right after minicamp, we'll pack everything up, and when we come back for training camp, we'll be in the new.
Sick.
And it's literally just on the other side of the practice field.
That's a dream situation. New facility, young QB, young team, experience early. Life has to be good. Last question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, you're on the competition committee now. What is kind of the most pressing thing?
I was on it before, and I was asked a bunch of questions the other day, and the problem is Sunday I had gotten food poisoning, and I literally was in this Marriott for like 24 hours. And I
beat up or no?
Listen, not yet. I had the Pedialyte, all that stuff, but I didn't get to the first two meetings, and so I'm doing my media session, and they're asking me about this, and I'm just trying to cruise through it. Fortunately, there aren't a lot of big items.
Yeah.
It doesn't appear. I'll get up to speed and be there before the owners' meetings, but. Look, I like those topics when you're passionate about the game, and I'm easy to get fired up on some of those things.
Oh yeah,
The refs, the union renegotiation happening. That's a huge deal.
It is, and
Are we going to fix that
I'm so
ever?
removed from it.
Okay.
Like, in other words, I have no idea what that means. I know there's a union. I know that the last time they had that, there was a challenge,
high school
right?
refs,
yeah.
And then, like, all I was thinking about is, like, my cycle getting off the plane, and it was every 25 minutes that I was having to, and I knew that it was 28 minutes from the airport to the hotel, and it was 12:50 in the morning, and my driver didn't speak English, and I thought, if I ask him to get out, he might leave me here. It was 8 degrees, and I thought, this is where I'm going to die. And then I get to the hotel, and the manager's training someone to check in.
Oh,
and I
yes.
said, well, not with this room.
The worst.
That was the time. I need my key.
Immediately, yeah. No, all good, though. It's good to be back here. I'm just from right up the road. I went to camp here, Franklin, Indiana, for so many years. My high school coach was from Indianapolis. Like,
I didn't know any of that.
yeah, I'm from Illinois, so used to go to Franklin College.
Oh, did you hear? Illinois?
No.
The governor of Indiana was just on. He's saying the Bears are coming to Indiana.
Really?
Yeah, he's like he was sitting right here.
Confident.
People don't realize, back in the day when we all watched, and you guys may not have, you're young, but you remember Brian's song? Brian Piccolo.
I do.
Yes.
Very sad
That was at
movie.
St. Joe's University, which is no longer a school. That's where their training camp was. So when you see those old films of the Bears coach, they trained in northern Indiana for a number of years.
There you go. Pete Ward, president of the Colts, sent me a text while I was talking to the governor.
That's really unbelievable.
Yeah, that's happening. He seems that the governor
Very calm.
seems to think it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And quietly, I think the Chiefs moved from
Missouri
to Kansas.
Yeah.
And that was kind of...
Yeah.
And I think people didn't, because a lot of people, Kansas City, they're in Kansas. Yeah.
Well, the whole country woke up and we didn't pay any attention to it. We paid attention when the Colts moved from Baltimore here.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That was a big one.
Absolutely.
But I think it's hard to believe, being from the Chicago area, that the Bears are going to be in northern Indiana.
I think it's happening. Pete Ward said, the president of the Colts, he said Hammond had an NFL team back in the 1920s.
There you go. Good squad.
The Hammond Pros. Okay.
And so I don't think people realize how close like if you're from the Chicago area, Notre Dame kind of became your adopted university a little bit back when there wasn't, and there are a ton of alumni. It's not that big of a drive, but
Did you watch the Olympics?
I did.
Dude, how awesome is that when we win anything? I get so excited. Like the women's team when Keller cooks Canada in overtime, it's like what a moment. The men doing what they did on the second to last day of the Olympics.
How about the skater from Wisconsin? They showed the little ice track his parents dug, and
Jordan Stolz?
Yeah, he was a star.
Yep. Star. Yeah. Yes, he
Beast.
absolutely was. I got captivated by all that. Just competing, I think, is what we like.
No, it's good. And there's something about the Winter Games. I don't know why. And I'm kind of the traditionalist where some of the X Games stuff, I don't know when it was like, when did that
get to the Olympics?
But, the traditional was like the ski jump, the luge.
Yeah.
Those are all the conventional ones. And then all of a sudden there'll be one of these, you're like, I don't know when they slipped that in here.
You're the man. Good luck this entire offseason.
Thank you, Coach.
Great seeing you guys. Appreciate it.
Hey,
Man,
congrats,
Coach.
dude. You're the
Hey,
man.
thank you, man.
Hey, never a doubt, by the way, Sean. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Payton.
Yeah, Sean.